Hi, welcome back. It's JT Walters in the Everyday Ordinary Cook's Kitchen, and I'm working on infusing oils. I recently didn't go on a diet, but I lost weight, and when I lost weight, my cholesterol went through the roof. I did stop eating fatty foods, and I took basically all the fat out of my diet, which I spoke to my friend in India, JP, Dr. Sally. Thank you so much. And she said biosynthesis. You can't just take out fat out of your diet. You have to reinfuse it and your cholesterol will go down. Your body is producing fat now that's unhealthy. So now I have to reinfuse fat into my diet, which is hard because I gave up like butter and everything that I loved. And so I'm just trying to do it the healthiest way possible with plant sterols, which are good for you. But I'm going to infuse my oils. So I bought the bottle for $1. And I won't equivocate the price. It was $1 at the dollar store. And they have these really awesome, cool bottles. I sterilize the bottles. This is another one that I bought. It's really awesome that you can see. I sterilize the bottles, and then which I burnt the heck out of my hand. That would have been a tremendously funny video for you to see. And then I go ahead and I prepare. And I've already done one video on making the basil oil, which I will show you here. See, here is my basil oil. And it would have been much lighter. I just did not put the salt in it, in the salt water. I mean in the cold water when you do when you blanch it and you put it in cold salt water. I did not do that, and that's why it is not that beautiful light green. And I also didn't care if I had the particulates in it. I wasn't going to strain it down like 50 times to get it to like perfect. So I wanted just to do the basics, because this is the first time I've ever done this. And so it took like 27 minutes to show you that video, and that's way too long of a video. You guys do not have time like that. So, basic same idea. You take the skillet, okay, in the skillet here, okay, you put olive oil in, you put rosemary in. Not all your rosemary, because you want to save some to stick in your bottle to continually infuse. There are two types of oil infusion, cold infusion and hot infusion. We are doing both today in both bottles. But this is the rosemary, thyme, garlic, peppercorn infusion that we're doing right now. So I just put the rosemary and thyme in the oil, and I basically got it to 125 degrees, and I cooked it down, and I took it out, okay? Then I went ahead and I basically finally chopped it into a very nice oil, but it's going to be a lighter oil. I didn't want to go heavy and use the particulates from the fry. So what I did was I prepped this for you, and that way you don't have to sit there and listen to me break up the garlic cloves. They're already in the bottom. And you can just stick things in it. I mean, I really need to get the sieve because it's going to be a mess if I don't. So let me get the sieve and do this the proper way. The proper way. And then we'll just pour it in there. Try and get stems out. People don't like to eat stems. I mean, I don't care. I'm pretty flexible. This is an end product oil, so you want to use the highest grade cold pressed oil you can find. Don't spend $1 million though. Oil's oil. And also I've heard people say that you really need to, I just added in here, what I just added was thyme and peppercorns to this mixture. I've heard people say just use vegetable oil. If that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. I mean, oops. That's what, you know, I would go ahead and try. I mean, basically it's pretty cheap to make, so, you know, try it, figure it out. So over here, oil and water does not mix, so you make sure all your herbs. These herbs were pre-soaked overnight. This is a rosemary herb. And it was pre-soaked overnight in 10% vinegar and olive oil. The bottles were sterilized with hot water and were thoroughly cleaned. Oh, wait, this isn't gone through. Hold on. Let me get this out. This doesn't go through. You just get a little poker here and you make it go through. Because basically it's an infusion, and that's what infusions do. Okay, so we got that one in there. Okay, then these are going to, you put the whole plant, the whole stem of the plant in here for the cold infusion part. Okay, so while we did the hot infusion with the oil and the stems, we're now doing the cold infusion part too. So this is a double infused olive oil. And I want to thank my other friend Josh, who said sell these on Etsy. And I said, why would I possibly have a market if I show everybody how to do this? And he's like, people will buy it. And I'm like, I don't know, Josh, but he's such a great guy. You've got to check out his book, Mr. Self-Destruct. Such a sweetheart. So anyways, I'm going to now attempt to, without spilling, which is always an incredible attempt. We have, I've got to put some thyme in here. I'm sorry. You put your rosemary stems in, and then you put your thyme stems in too. General rule of what goes in this bottle is if it can't come back out, you don't put it in. So always chop things smaller than what's in your bottle. You're going to lose your bottle. So that's just a general principle and rule that I go by. You can do whatever you want. I encourage you to do whatever you want. If you know a better combination of flavors and have a different flavor palette, I'm thinking that, it would be a really great thing if you, made your own oil. I've considered making sesame oil infused with turmeric, fresh turmeric root, and olive oil. And I don't know if that, there would be a market for that, but I definitely would love that. So, and you just try and get as much in here as you can so it looks pretty. Okay, so you basically have a tree growing in the middle of your bottle. Okay, never pour without a sieve, and never not have something underneath to catch your overflow of oil, because the oil creeps up on you. So this is the olive oil that I cooked the rosemary in and the thyme in. And so by the way, it smells awesome. I mean, and I just did basil, and this smells much better, and I was totally shocked. So I'm just going to pour this into my bottle. Oh, and it spilled a little bit on the side. Get down there. Okay. And it's got to get past the tree, so it has issues. It can come back up on me if I don't watch it carefully. So I apologize, I'm not watching you, but the tree, it comes back up on the tree and then spills over. Because you basically have a tree in the center of your bottle. And so all of that is already infused. So now I'm going to fill the rest of the bottle up with regular olive oil to infuse the rest of it. And the bottles stay good for 1 year. 1 year only. Let me say that. 1 year from today, this bottle will go bad. It will become rancid. If you get mold, which you should not if you do the vinegar soak and you sterilize and you're using sterilized equipment. If you get mold, it can get rancid. Throw it out. That's it. There's no saving it. So I want to go ahead and finish up so that we can make a much shorter video this time. So seriously, you guys have got to read Josh's Josh Peck's Mr. Self-Destruct. It is like an awesome book. And Josh is like the best person. I mean, really. And Dr. Sally is too over in India. I mean, I don't know what I'd do with her, without her. It's like if something goes wrong with me, I call her. I call her all the way in India, and I'm like, what? She's like, you don't have doctors in America? She goes, you have doctors in America. I'm like, I trust you, Dr. Sally. I love her so much. And she's just like, no, you need a little bit of fat. Now, I'm certain, I think she said coconut oil, and I'm certain that this, I'm going to get an answer about this. But this isn't exactly what she had in mind, me doing olive oil, but, you know, Dr. Sally, I'm sorry, I like olive oil. Okay, I'm sorry. And I'm going to infuse it and just use a little tiny bit, just like you said. Okay, so here is your end product. Here is your bottle. Now this is your rosemary. I don't shake this because the flavors will come up through time. You could add lemon to it, which would be an interesting, I put lemon in the basil already, so it would be interesting, but I decided not to. I decided this one was just going to be a straight rosemary, thyme, garlic, peppercorn. There were recipes that called for sage to be put in here. I'm not crazy about sage, so I'm going to show you the 2 bottles I've made today, and I can't believe anybody would actually pay me to actually get these. I think they make nice gifts for Christmas to friends, because, you know, it's something you made, and especially a friend that works that's busy that can't do, but they're really not, doesn't take that much to do. So you know, I'm kind of befuddled about the whole, people saw these online, but in any event, fantastic. This one is fantastic. The basil is good too, but this one I actually like. This one was to die for. And so I'm going to show you both oils, and then that's the end of this. I was supposed to get jalapenos and make a nice jalapeno oil. By the way, if you just out of curiosity, it's a finishing. You can put these on salads. You can put this on chicken as a pre-cooking it. You can put this on a plate and soak bread into it and eat it. You can just put this anywhere. I mean, it is a finishing oil. It is a product that you were supposed to eat directly. It's not something you're supposed to cook with. Although I'm told you can use cooking oils. I prefer to use non-cooking oils, at least for the first time. So let me show you both products. And then you tell me. Like, seriously, would you like seriously buy that? Because I'm thinking, if you can make it at home, why would you? So this is the rosemary. This is the basil. The basil, I didn't put salt in the ice water, or it would be a lot lighter green, but you know, it happens. And they really make lovely decoratives in your kitchen. I mean, they're very decorative. So I'm just going to let them hang out here on the counter, and, you know, I'll probably infuse away. At $1 a bottle, you can't really go wrong. So I'm just going to have to watch how much I have because of my cholesterol. So I want to thank you for joining me in the Everyday Ordinary Cook's kitchen. It is quite the boring kitchen, as you can see. We just make oils. It's infused oils, not a big deal. So I want you to have a great day. And if you're not laughing at me, you should be. I'm pretty funny. Please laugh with me. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.